Picture two companies competing fiercely in the same market. Prices keep falling, profits shrink, and the battle never ends. This is what the authors call a red ocean. It is crowded, bloody, and exhausting. But what if you could leave the fight entirely and create a new market space where competition becomes irrelevant? That is the promise of Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan, Kim, and Mauborgne. It offers a roadmap for innovation and growth by shifting focus from competing to creating. Instead of fighting for a slice of the pie, you bake a new pie altogether. Let us explore the key frameworks, principles, and stories that make this strategy one of the most powerful business ideas of our time. Red oceans versus blue oceans. In traditional markets, companies compete head-to-head. This is the red ocean. Resources are limited, and the only way to grow is by stealing share from rivals. Blue oceans are the opposite. They represent uncontested spaces where demand is created instead of fought over. Competition becomes irrelevant because you are no longer playing the same game. Think of Cirque du Soleil. It did not compete with traditional circuses or Broadway shows. Instead, it combined elements of both and created a new category that appealed to adults willing to pay premium ticket prices. That was a blue ocean move. Value innovation. At the heart of the strategy lies the idea of value innovation. Companies must break the trade-off between differentiation and low cost. Instead of choosing either, they pursue both simultaneously. For example, Southwest Airlines removed costly services such as meals and seating classes while increasing convenience with point-to-point travel and quick turnaround. The result was low cost and differentiated service at the same time. Value innovation is about delivering more value for customers while lowering costs for the business. The 4 Actions Framework. One tool for applying value innovation is the 4 Actions Framework. It asks for critical questions. Eliminate. Which factors that the industry takes for granted should be removed? Reduce. Which factors should be reduced well below the industry standard? Raise. Which factors should be raised well above the standard? Create. Which new elements should be introduced that the industry has never offered? Yellowtail Wine applied this by eliminating complex wine terminology, reducing the range of options, raising accessibility with bright packaging, and creating a fun, easy-drinking wine for casual consumers. This opened a huge new market of people who had previously avoided wine. The Strategy Canvas. Another powerful tool is the Strategy Canvas. It is a visual chart that maps out the current state of competition in an industry. By plotting factors that companies invest in, you can see where they cluster. Most competitors focus on the same dimensions, but a blue ocean move will create a different curve on the canvas. This helps companies see opportunities that are invisible when looking only through traditional metrics. Nintendo's Wii is an example. While rivals fought over graphics and processing power, Nintendo focused on motion-based play and family-friendly games. The curve shifted and a new audience entered gaming, breaking out of traditional boundaries. One principle is to look across industry boundaries rather than staying confined to your own. The authors identify 6 paths for doing this. Look across alternative industries. Look across strategic groups within industries. Look across buyer groups. Look across complementary product and service offerings. Look across functional and emotional appeal. Look across time and trends. For instance, NetJets created fractional jet ownership by looking across alternatives between first-class airline travel and private jets. It opened a new market for executives who wanted the benefits of private aviation without full ownership costs, reaching beyond existing demand. Blue oceans are created not by fighting over current customers, but by reaching non-customers. The authors describe 3 tiers. Soon-to-be non-customers. Those about to leave the industry, refusing non-customers. Those who consciously choose against the industry. Unexplored non-customers. Those who never considered the industry. When Curves Fitness Clubs launched, they targeted women who avoided traditional gyms due to intimidation or complexity. By simplifying workouts and building a community atmosphere, they reached an entirely new group of customers. Building the right sequence. A new offering should follow a logical sequence. Buyer utility. Does it deliver exceptional value? Price. Is the price accessible to the massive target buyers? Cost. Can the company make a profit at that price? Adoption. What are the hurdles to acceptance and how can they be addressed? This ensures that innovation does not just sound exciting, but is commercially viable. Apple followed this logic with the iPod and iTunes ecosystem, ensuring broad utility, accessible pricing, and easy adoption, overcoming organizational hurdles. Innovation faces resistance within companies. The book highlights 4 key hurdles. Cognitive employees may not see the need for change. Resource. Lack of funding or people. Motivational. Lack of energy or commitment. Political. Opposition from vested interests. To overcome these, leaders must use tipping point leadership, focusing resources on the areas with the greatest influence, creating early wins and leveraging credibility to shift momentum. The fair process principle. Sustainable execution requires fairness. The fair process principle states that people support decisions when they feel engaged, heard, and treated with respect. Even if outcomes are not in their favor, the sense of fairness increases trust and commitment. For example, when a company redesigns roles or cuts costs, involving employees in the discussion and explaining reasoning creates a stronger foundation for change, renewal, and sustainability. Blue oceans are not permanent. Over time, rivals may imitate and the space can become crowded again. That is why companies must continue exploring new opportunities and reinventing themselves. The key is to embed innovation into culture, monitor shifts in customer behavior, and keep scanning for new frontiers. Cirque du Soleil, for instance, constantly refreshed its shows to maintain novelty while others tried to copy its concept. Closing takeaway. Competing harder in red oceans only leads to diminishing returns. The real breakthrough comes from creating blue oceans, spaces where competition becomes irrelevant and growth is exponential. Your challenge. Choose one industry or area of your life where competition feels overwhelming. Ask yourself the 4 actions questions. What can you eliminate, reduce, raise, and create? The answer could be your own blue ocean. Knowledge is only powerful when applied. Take one idea from today's book and put it into action. If you want more summaries on personal finance, leadership, and self-development, subscribe and join me on this journey of growth.